With the proliferation of fake innovation, I feel like it's my responsibility to point out some of the areas of that fakeness. First off, what is innovation? Innovation is kind of a vague concept, definitely become a buzzword, but it's been my field for about 40 years now. And what innovation is, in my opinion, is any product, service, solution, technology that adds value to something, quite frankly. So it can be as small as a little process improvement and as large as a brand new way of doing things and everything in between. And that's innovation. And so obviously innovation has become front and center for almost all companies, and they need it to keep growing their business models. But what is fake innovation? Well, there's big fake innovation like what we've seen in the news, which I would kind of consider fraudulent innovation. That's where startups or sometimes even established companies will make claims that they really just can't deliver on, and they know they're not delivering on. The case of Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX was a big one in the news recently. We're an international cryptocurrency clearinghouse, very successful, was really a Ponzi scheme. And Sam Bankman-Fried was, labeled as the next Steve Jobs, and when instead he was really a fraud. And the system and setup was a fraud. Or there was Theranos and their founder who claimed, and this was important to us too in the financial services world, they claimed they could find all kinds of things from a mere drop of blood in a lab test. And it would have been huge for all kinds of industries, including the insurance industry. And I've been part of that and part of big innovations where we've been trying to get to the bottom of how to identify people's dangers for life insurance and other things without having to go through the rigor of some of the tests that we have to do, because we lose a lot of people there. And so Theranos was a real opportunity, but it was fraudulent. They made claims that they just couldn't deliver on, and I think their founder, and I believe their founder's in jail now. So that's big fake innovation. So that's more fraudulent innovation. The innovation I'm talking about is inside corporate America. And I see it all the time in financial services companies. That's innovation that doesn't really exist. That's innovation, the buzzword. That's the CEO talking about innovation. Executives having innovation books on their shelves but never sponsoring a single idea or even pursuing it. That's innovation programs that are unfunded and don't really have any results. That's the fake innovation that I see and I'm talking about. A clear way to identify whether there is innovation or not is to look at the results. As a consultant, I'm frequently called in for programs that are underperforming. And so what I look at are their results. And oftentimes, they don't have any results, or their results are very weak. And in those programs, though, usually the problem is somewhere within the culture and leadership of the organization supporting fake innovation. They want to have the feel, the look, the sense, the buzzword innovation without any of the hard work or discipline required to put into it. They love to throw the term around innovation. They love the buzzword innovation. But using the term transformation, innovation doesn't produce results. In fact, there are now subcategories of buzzwords for innovation that you're probably all familiar with. That doesn't mean that these aren't outstanding opportunities and there aren't some really good things happening, but more often than not in these failing innovation programs, they're throwing the words out there without any real results. Words like AI, artificial intelligence is huge now. Big data was on the radar for a long time. Connected devices in my area of financial services. All of these were buzzwords that they love to throw around. But when you peel back the onion, you frequently didn't find anything. That's fake innovation. If you talk to these executives that are behind these programs, the reason I say it's a leadership problem is they will be damning their small fledgling innovation programs that are failing, but they won't be lifting a finger to help them. When you look at it, they will not have sponsored a single idea. They'll have innovation books on their shelves, and they'll tell you that, well, Google doesn't need an innovation program. Google doesn't need, they point to the most successful innovation companies in the world and what they're doing and try to draw parallels between their company and why they don't need to have an innovation program like they have. and they use it to disparage their poor little innovators who are usually trying really hard to make things happen. But that analysis, that comparison is kind of like comparing a Pee Wee football player to Tom Brady, the greatest, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. So if your little 10-year-old child came to you and said, I want to go to a football clinic, and you said, you don't need a football clinic to get better. Tom Brady doesn't need a football clinic. That would be like what these people in some of these financial services companies are doing. They're comparing their company to Google. Well, we don't need to have a budget for innovation because Google does. Everybody innovates at Google. Everybody innovates at Amazon, etc. And it's just a very poor comparison. To get where he's at, Tom Brady had to go to many football clinics and have many quarterback coaches and have lots of lessons. And likewise, a company that's trying to grow innovation has to do the same thing. But you'll have executives who will sit back, read a couple of books, won't lift their finger to change their work style at all, and they'll be status quo to the end and criticize their innovation programs. They're part of fake innovation. What I've witnessed in recent years is the casual and reckless use of the term innovation. People assign it to their job titles. People have programs for innovation. The marketing folks love to run with the word innovation and related innovation buzzwords, but there's no real underlying proof, only the appearance of them. So fake innovation that I see that has to be overcome is using the buzzword and the terms and talking innovation. Researching innovation with no means to launch anything. The lack of a working budget, a commitment, the lack of a process, the lack of senior leaders leading, owning innovation, stepping up and saying, this is the direction we're going. This is having personal courage to say, I'm taking this risk and I'm assuming this responsibility and we're going to try this. And lastly, very few results. Fake innovation does not have results, and that's how you will always know it. You'll know a tree by its fruit, and there's no fruit coming from that innovation tree that's fake. And if you're a hardcore, true innovator trying to make something happen out there, my heart goes out to you, especially in financial services. Keep pushing the noodle. Keep trying.